For 15 years, the disappearance of Goldie Hawn from the Hollywood spotlight remained one of the most intriguing mysteries in the entertainment world. Fans and journalists alike speculated endlessly about her sudden absence, but the truth remained hidden behind closed doors. Then, on the Oscar stage this past March, Goldie revealed the reason with a simple yet profound 5-word confession: "I had to save my life." It was not a line from a movie, nor a scripted moment. It was a real statement of survival, of reclaiming control in a world that often seemed determined to define her. Behind that confession lay decades of resilience, a private battle with the pressures of the studio system, and the family challenges that shaped her into the remarkable woman she would become. Childhood and early life. Before Hollywood knew her name, Goldie Hawn was a young girl dancing in her mother's studio, blissfully unaware that the joy surrounding her was built atop unspoken sorrows. Born on November 21, 1945, in Washington, D.C., she was the daughter of Edward Rutledge Hawn, a gifted band musician and descendant of one of the youngest signers of the Declaration of Independence, and Laura Steinhoff, a woman whose elegance and grace filled their home with the rhythms of dance and music. Their household was steeped in artistry and ambition, yet beneath the polished surface lay a quiet grief. Goldie and her sister Patty had once had an older brother, Edward Jr., who passed away before Patty was born. The subject was never spoken of, leaving a subtle void that silently influenced Goldie's outlook on life. That early exposure to loss instilled in her both profound empathy and an unwavering drive to create joy, a drive that would guide her career and personal choices. The first steps on stage. Goldie's journey into the arts began almost as soon as she could walk. At the age of 3, she began dancing in her mother's ballet and tap studio, finding in movement a language of her own. By 10, her talent was undeniable, leading to a performance in the Nutcracker with the prestigious Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo, an experience that offered her a first glimpse of the luminous world of performance. By 19, Goldie's ambition and independence were already evident. She paused her studies at American University to open and teach at her own ballet school, demonstrating both leadership and an innate determination to chart her own course. While the studio offered a sense of security, she felt a restless energy, a desire to explore a larger world and command a stage beyond the familiar walls of her childhood. The journey to California. With courage and determination, Goldie set out for California at the age of 21, armed with little more than a few dollars and a tiny poodle. She aimed to perform at the Melody Land Theater, a small venue near Disneyland, seeking a new horizon for her dreams. Yet the journey almost ended before it began. Her car broke down in the vast Mojave Desert, leaving her stranded with just $50 and her loyal poodle. In a moment of vulnerability, she took a chance on a passing hitchhiker, a Green Beret recently returned from Vietnam, who guided her safely to her destination. This seemingly small encounter was a testament to Goldie's courage and her ability to trust her instincts, a trait that would define both her professional and personal life. Early Hollywood roles. Hollywood welcomed Goldie with open arms, but also attempted to confine her in narrow roles. Television first brought her widespread attention, with appearances on Good Morning World from 1967 to 1968 and Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In from 1968 to 1973. Audiences fell in love with her charm, her giggle, and her radiant smile, yet the industry often reduced her to the stereotype of the giggling, bubbly blonde. While millions saw a carefree personality, Goldie's true self, a disciplined, ambitious, and fiercely intelligent woman, was preparing for something far greater than the roles Hollywood initially offered her. Her early successes revealed both her commercial appeal and the challenge of breaking free from a system that preferred conformity over individuality. Breaking through with film. Goldie's breakthrough came with Cactus Flower in 1969. Her portrayal of Toni Simmons, a young woman both vulnerable and fearless, captivated audiences and critics alike. The film grossed over $25 million in the US, ranking among the year's top hits. The recognition culminated in an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, a moment that came unexpectedly. Goldie was asleep in London, far from Hollywood, when a phone call announced her victory. On the stage, Raquel Welch accepted the award on her behalf, making Goldie's debut on the Oscar stage an entirely spontaneous and unforgettable moment. It was proof that her talent alone could propel her to greatness, bypassing the limitations Hollywood had once sought to impose. Becoming a Hollywood powerhouse. With her career firmly established, Goldie Hawn refused to be constrained by the roles offered to women in Hollywood. When she championed Private Benjamin in 1980, she faced skepticism from studio executives who doubted audiences would support a woman-led army comedy. But Goldie's determination transformed doubt into triumph. She took on the role of producer, guided the project through creative challenges, and ultimately turned it into a cultural phenomenon. Private Benjamin earned nearly $70 million at the box office, cementing her reputation as not just a talented actress, but a formidable force in Hollywood capable of shaping the stories she wanted to tell. Her mantra, "Don't tell me I can't, just watch me," embodied her approach to life and career, proving that courage and conviction could break even the most restrictive boundaries. Establishing a legacy. The 1980s became Goldie's golden era, marked by an unparalleled run of successes that solidified her status as both a box office queen and a cultural icon. Films like Swing Shift, Overboard, and Bird on a Wire showcased her versatility, seamlessly blending comedy, drama, and action. Beyond commercial success, Goldie's performances carried a rare authenticity. She brought intelligence, humor, and empathy to each character, transforming even seemingly minor roles into layered, memorable portraits. Adjusted for inflation, her films have earned over $2 billion domestically, a testament to her enduring appeal and business acumen. A remarkable achievement in an industry where many stars fade after fleeting fame. Championing female collaboration, Goldie Hawn's influence extended beyond her individual success. In 1996, she brought together Diane Keaton and Bette Midler to create The First Wives Club, a film that celebrated female empowerment. Initially dismissed by all three actresses as too bitter or unbalanced, Goldie saw the heart of the story and championed a version that combined humor, warmth, and authenticity. She also brokered an unprecedented pact of solidarity, a commitment that no star would overshadow another, that each would support the ensemble. The result was a massive box office success, grossing $181 million worldwide, and a powerful example of collaboration and mutual respect in a competitive industry. Personal trials and family life. While her professional life flourished, Goldie faced challenges in her personal life, including 2 marriages that tested her resilience. Her first marriage to Gus Traonis began with shared artistic passion, but gradually unraveled under the pressures of divergent careers. By 1973, they separated, though divorce came only later. In 1975, she met musician Bill Hudson on a plane, and what began as a whirlwind romance quickly became a family with 2 children, Oliver and Kate. Yet as Goldie's career continued to soar, Bill struggled to find his own footing, ultimately leading to another separation. Despite the bitterness of these experiences, Goldie remained focused on her children and her own growth, demonstrating her belief that love and family could endure even amidst upheaval. A New Love and the 15-Year Glance. The most enduring chapter of Goldie's personal life began with Kurt Russell. First meeting on the set of the one and only Genuine Original Family Band in 1968, their initial connection was purely professional. 15 years later, in 1983, destiny brought them together again on the set of Swing Shift. Both were single, and what won Goldie over was not Hollywood charm, but Kurt's effortless kindness with her children. Their first date was unconventional, a humorous, impromptu break-in at a house they didn't own, ending with the arrival of the police. It was a perfect reflection of the spontaneity and joy that would define their relationship. Together, they built a family based not on legal contracts, but on a quiet, mutual commitment and an understanding that love does not need external validation to endure. The unsigned contract. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell chose never to marry, a decision that puzzled many observers but perfectly reflected their philosophy. Their love was active, chosen daily, and free from societal constraints. Each Valentine's Day marked the anniversary of their partnership, a renewal of a bond built on trust, respect, and shared joy. Their home became a constellation of family, blending children from previous relationships with their own, creating a loving, unified household. Oliver Hudson brought laughter, Kate Hudson radiated warmth, Boston Russell provided steadfast presence, and Wyatt Russell carried the family's legacy forward. Through it all, Goldie and Kurt remained the anchors of their family, exemplifying a love that is rare, enduring, and intentionally nurtured. Navigating Hollywood with grace. Throughout her life and career, Goldie Hawn mastered the art of walking away from negativity and preserving her dignity. In an industry known for feuds and public drama, she chose silence and quiet action over confrontation, allowing her achievements and integrity to speak for themselves. This approach not only preserved her reputation, but also created a legacy of professionalism, kindness, and steadfastness that inspired countless colleagues and fans. Goldie demonstrated that true strength is not always loud or performative. It is often found in quiet resilience and thoughtful choices. Legacy and enduring influence. Goldie Hawn's story is one of courage, brilliance, and unwavering self-respect. From a young girl dancing in her mother's studio to an Oscar-winning actress, producer, and Hollywood powerhouse, she transformed obstacles into opportunities, disappointment into determination, and challenges into triumphs. Her influence extends not only through the films and performances that define generations, but also through her family, her collaborations, and the values she upheld in an industry often marked by fleeting success and superficiality. Her life reminds us that resilience, authenticity, and love, both for oneself and others, are the true measures of a remarkable journey.